What's up, everybody? It's your boy here, Cheap Ass Statue Collector, and today we have a really cool review. It's another diorama review. One of my favorite statues, type of statues, is dioramas. So let's get right into it. So here it is, guys. This is the Superman vs. Batman 1/5 Sideshow diorama, the exclusive edition. There are 1,000 of these and 2,000 of the regular edition, so you can find these no problem. I went and pre-ordered it anyways, even though it's not sold out or even low in stock, because I really love dioramas. It's my favorite type of statue. And Superman and Batman are two of my favorite heroes. And these guys are fighting. It's epic. I love how Superman and Batman are fighting like this. It's really cool. Most dioramas versus dioramas, you kind of have one guy on the ground, one guy falling down on them, which is fine. I would like them to be a little bit more creative than this, but this works really well, and that's why it's done so many times, you know. And as you can see, the base, it's a big base, but it doesn't take up that much footprint, which I like. It's the Crystal Fortress base of Superman's, and you know, Superman is fighting. He's crushing all the crystals underneath his feet, and you know, he's cocked back. He's ready to punch Batman, and Batman's ready to punch Superman with the kryptonite ring. He's got the batarang out. He's got the laser eyes coming out. He's about to kill Batman, basically, because if he gets hit with laser eyes, if Batman gets hit with laser eyes, he's pretty much dead. So this is the death of Batman, I guess. Now, with that said, let's go right into the paint apps. The blue on Superman is a little bit darker than a lot of the other Supermans that I have. They tend to be a little bit more bluer. So this is a little bit more of a darker blue. They went with matte red, like a very matte, especially on the underwear. The cape is cloth, obviously. And the boots are nice shiny red. They have a nice vibrant color to them, which I like. They obviously went with the classic suit Superman, which I like as well. Somebody said they didn't know if they liked that Superman didn't have any belt buckles, but I don't really care about that. I think the Rebirth Superman, and I think the New 52 Superman, I don't think he has belt buckles as well, so it's not a big deal for me. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is this the 8th or the 9th Superman statue? And I don't need them all to look the same. So a variation is nice. And Batman is painted really well as well. He's got the classic gray and black outfit, and he looks very modern. They both look very realistic, which I like. And you can see that within the portraits as well. The portraits and the paint applications, they're going for a very realistic look. They're not really going for a cartoony look. Either way, I don't care. I don't actually have a preference. I like them both as long as they come out well. Batman's paint applications are really nice on the face. So are Superman's. And I'll get some close-up pictures so you can see. This is obviously the exclusive head. And down here we have the regular head. So you get him just, you know, kind of clenching his teeth, and then you get the other one where he's shooting laser beams out at Batman, which I think is cooler. In person, they look much better than they do in pictures. In pictures, you don't really see how clear and how see-through they are. And you don't see all the little details from the blast that are coming out of his eyes. So it looks much better in person than it does look in pictures. I think the strong point of the paint applications on this statue are the portraits and how realistic they're trying to go for. The realistic look that they're going for. You know, and basically I actually touched this guy up a little bit. If you look at Superman's fingernails, they were actually the same finish, I guess. I don't know if it's a finish, but they basically look the same color tone. So the fingernails didn't look like fingernails. They weren't like shiny at all. They were dull. They were matte. And so what I did was I took a clear satin finish and I just put it on the top of his fingernails to make it look like he actually had fingernails, not that his skin was just growing over his fingernails. I don't know. It didn't look right. It didn't look like he had fingernails. I put a nice satin clear coat onto it, give it a nice shine, and I think that little touch makes it look nice. Now the sculpt details are pretty good. Batman looks really good. The sculpt detail in his boots look really cool. There's a lot of tread going on there. And Superman looks good, from all the way from his hair, his textured flowing hair, all the way down to his boots and the crystals that are breaking on the base. They did a really good job. Some people complain that there are no textures in Superman's suit or Batman's suit. And it is kind of flat, but I mean, that's either you get a textured suit or you don't get a textured suit. I don't see how that's a big deal or not. Most of my Superman statues are not texturized. The Superman versus Flash Superman costume actually has textures in it, like a pattern, like a honeycomb pattern. And I know Prime 1's Hush Superman does that as well. I haven't seen the new Sideshow one in person, so I don't know. I don't remember from watching the reviews. But I don't think that's really a big deal. Again, this is a 1/5 size statue. This is not a 1/4. This is not a 1/3. I think this looks really good. It's very good. I think Batman, has done a little bit better, but I think he's a little bit easier of a character to make. He's a lot, it's harder to mess up Batman, especially since all you have to do is half of his chin, right? You don't have to do the whole face. So I think it's really cool. This piece is, what was it, $699, $700. So to give you, this is a 1/5 statue and it's $700. A few years ago they had the Hulk vs. Wolverine statue, which was $650, right? So $50 more for the next 1/5 diorama. Okay, they're not breaking the bank. Already went and got that guy. This is a no-brainer for me. I like these characters a little bit more actually than the Hulk vs. Wolverine. So it was a must-have, and I love this statue. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of things. Putting this thing together is kind of a pain in the butt, at least when it comes to the cape for Superman. Putting the cape on Batman is easy. It fits right all the way underneath his suit perfectly. There's no issues. Really, it hides the seam well. Even though there is a seam, it's hidden pretty well. Superman, on the other hand, was a little bit harder to put together. At least maybe I'm just stupid. But he doesn't sit. His neck doesn't sit all the way flush with his suit when you put in the fabric cape. And I got to mess with it a little bit more. I did this last night on the statue chat, and I kind of messed with the wrinkles and stuff of the capes. So that was kind of a pain in the butt. But after I started moving the cape the way I wanted to, the statue kind of came to life, and it was really exciting. Okay guys, so I have an idea. I want to go ahead and get the other dioramas that I have, some of the bigger ones that I think a lot of people have. The Hulk vs. Wolverine, the Batman vs. Bane. Let's go ahead and pull them out on the table and let's get a comparison of these dioramas that I have. So stay tuned. Okay guys, I got the mic back here, so hopefully you can still hear me. You probably can't see me, you probably don't want to see me. But I've got the Hulk vs. Wolverine and a Superman vs. Batman statue out here, and they look pretty awesome together. It's kind of cool. Just off the bat, the differences that I notice are the details and paint application on this statue are phenomenal. This is very simplistic. This is very awesome, but I think this has more weathering on Wolverine's costume, which I really love how they do the weathering. This thing is painted really well, and it kind of makes this one look a little bit less. Makes it look a little bit more simple, and that's not a bad thing. But the textures on the boot of Batman's boot is much more texturized, much more detailed than Wolverine's boot, right? But to each their own. I love them both. They're fucking awesome. Just having them next to each other. So what I noticed when I have this compared to the Batman versus Bane statue was the proportions with the hands, legs, and feet, and the heads were a little bit bigger than the Batman versus Bane statue. That's because this is a 1/5 and the Batman vs. Bane statue was a 1/6. Even though it's a big 1/6 statue, there was still a proportion difference. With this statue, it is not the case. As you can see, Batman is bigger than Wolverine, which he should be taller. And their hands are actually, the same proportion, and so are their faces, right? And you can see that Superman is still smaller than the Hulk, and it'd be really cool if there was a statue with those two fighting, right? That'd be so cool. But again, this is the 1/5 DC statue, 1/5 Marvel statue from Sideshow. These are their most recent dioramas, their last 2 dioramas. And if they come up with more, I'm gonna buy it. You just know it. This is really cool. I might have to switch out the Batman and Bane and maybe have these two next to each other. But the Batman and Bane really go with this statue because this is very comic-y looking, and so is the Batman versus Bane statue, and I love that. I love it. And this is a little bit more realistic with the skin tones that they chose for the paint applications. So this is actually going to go with my other Batman vs. Superman statues. So let's go ahead and get on to the next statue. Okay, you guys. Woo! These are heavy. So the next statue is the Batman vs. Bane. This is one of my favorite statues. I'm looking at the back of the tubing right now of Bane, and it looks so cool. It's like a neon PVC color look. It looks really cool. It looks like the Venom is pumping into his body, and his veins are green. I love this statue so much. It's very comic-y looking. I really love it. I really love it. As I said before, though, the proportions on this one are a little bit smaller. You can see that in Batman's head versus this Batman's head, right? And you can see how tall Superman is. He's actually, taller, longer looking than Bane, right? That shouldn't be the case. Bane should be much bigger than Superman. And it's because this is a 1/5 and this is a 1/6, right? So, they still look really cool together, right? They still, if you had these two statues, you could still kind of pose them together. And maybe move the Superman vs. Batman a little bit in the background to make it look a little bit smaller in your display, right? So this is very cool. One's the gray and blue suit. This is a black and gray suit. But there is a Joker vs. Batman, right, coming out from Iron Studios, and that's going to be cool too. It's going to be 1/6, and that's going to be the classic black and gray suit, and I'm getting that too. So dioramas are my thing, okay guys? These are awesome together. Like I said, the proportions on this one are a little bit smaller, but I think if you had them both, it would still be amazing. It's amazing to have both of these. It really is. So that's it, you guys. I would pull the Superman versus Doomsday out, but that piece is like 35 pounds, and I hate moving it. I'm afraid to move that thing. So this is what you got. Sorry. But thanks for checking out the video, you guys. Remember to like, subscribe, share it with all your friends. Let everybody know how cool the Cheap Ass Statue Collector is and all that stuff. I've got affiliate links. I've got it all. Yeah, I got t-shirts coming on the way. I've got giveaways coming up. I'm going to be giving you guys half of my collection. Let's go, you guys. Let's hit. I want to get at least 50,000 subscribers, okay? That's when I'll start giving away stuff. All right? So, just give me a like. Love you guys. Peace.